When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the new Prologue EV, there's a lot that could impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Live from the TCL Broadcast Studios, it's Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
I was in Florida too long, fellas. For the second straight day, I was in there frittering around thinking I had till 4 p.m. to get ready to do the show. And that's not the way it works when you're in the Central Time Zone instead of the Eastern Time Zone. You got to be ready at 3.
That tan will wreak havoc with your sense of timing.
That is true.
You are a golden bronze.
Oh, but I was much better a week ago. The last week down there was very unfavorable to a golden brown tan.
Okay.
Was not what it should be, that's for sure.
Best meal you had down there?
You know what? A lot of it is great, but there's a place called My Lachey.
Okay.
When you first go on to Pile Island, it's a fishing village, old abandoned fishing village. Bunch of joints in the Blue Dog Bar. Ooh.
The Blue Dog Bar.
They had a smoked fish dip, and they had, unfortunately, I was too late for the hogfish, which is supposed to be fantastic, but I got there 2 p.m. They already sold out. It's supposed to be the fish version of lobster. It's supposed to be fantastic. It's supposed to be fantastic. Blue Dog Bar, recommend. This place is also alleged to have fantastic music at night.
Okay, and it's tucked away and hard to find?
No, you're heading to Pine Island, and you got to drive through that to get there. So, and there's a lot of gift shops, costume jewelry, that kind of
shells.
stuff.
You can buy some shells there.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for you. And they got old... They got an old antique stores that you and the bride should be running that.
Right. Oh, in fact, we'll probably, I think we're going to head down there the week after Holy Week.
Yeah, go find it.
That's the only time I can find.
But it's 3 o'clock on Friday, and we need What Is On Your Mind, Manny Hill.
Well, I just, last night was a fun night for college basketball.
I thought the Loyola Nevada game was fun. It was fun. I fell asleep. K-State and Kentucky. Sorry, I didn't make it. I fell asleep.
It was a terrific game, and in typical Kentucky, John Calipari teams, that they kind of, you get in a tight game with them late down the stretch, and they start taking some questionable shots, and
especially when they're all 18 years old.
Yeah,
right?
And they're missing free throws, and K-State's a little bit more of a seasoned team, and they came out on top.
We talked about that yesterday. Nobody else gave them a chance. You and I gave them a chance yesterday, Manny.
Thought they had a shot.
May I ask this? I watched the entire game because I was at the appearance yesterday, so it was probably one of the first basketball games that I've watched in its entirety. Were those two teams, it was, who was it, Nevada and Loyola?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it typical for so many shots to be missed? And I'm not just talking 3-pointers, but it seemed like they couldn't even shoot 2-pointers.
They didn't. Loyola made their first 11 shots of the second half. What game were you watching?
The first half.
Well, yeah.
Because they were 9 for 26 or whatever it was, and I thought...
They came out and made 11 in a row, 9 layups. I said on Twitter, they had more blow-bys last night, Nevada, than Bill Musselman's first Gopher team had in the entire season in 1971. So... Anyway, but what are your other beyond that?
Well, the reason why I say it was a fun night, because there were, 2 of the games were not competitive, and 2 of them ended up being pretty tight. But the 2 games that were non-competitive were two coaches that, I mean, it's hard to dislike either guy. I mean, Beeline, I know you love Beeline.
I love Beeline.
They blew out A&M, and how about our guy Leonard Hamilton? Into his first Elite Eight after all these years.
They ate Gonzaga's lunch, from what I watched.
Ran them out of the gym.
Why did that happen?
I don't know. Florida State is weird because, they lost the two kids to the draft last year, their two best players. They had a really good team last year and only got to the second round. They lost Jonathan Isaac and Dwayne Bacon to the NBA, and so this team was kind of, on paper, you're like, they might be okay, but now they've gone on a run here, and I don't know how they're doing it.
Physical?
Yeah. I mean, they're just steady. I don't know. I don't know how to describe them. They don't really overwhelm you with talent, but they're this might be one of Leonard's best coaching jobs, just getting that team to this far.
Well, I promised on Twitter last night that I wasn't the kind of guy that was going to go on the radio today and tell everybody how I promised that Michigan was going to finally play their A game after having that lousy weekend. So I'm not going to do that. But boy, did they destroy them. Huh?
My guy, didn't I predict that my guy Wagner would have a pretty big night? He was good. Yes. He was fantastic.
Well, they make their shots. They made A&M look like fools, that's for sure. So
14 of 24 from three, Michigan shot last night. 14 out of 24.
Rook, we got to get Rook. If you're going to go out to these public appearances to watch basketball, though, you got to pay a little more attention. That you're complaining that Loyola didn't make any shots and they made 11 in a row to start the second half. That's why they won.
But that's why I'm out there, so people can school me. They can say, Rook, did you see the stats on that? They should put on a stat sheet at halftime.
Well, that was Nevada once again made one of their frantic comeback. North Carolina State should have kept those two Martin twins, shouldn't they? Isn't North Carolina State, right?
I think so.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
They are pretty good.
But they only have 6 guys. They lost their point guard. And Eric never has more than a 9 on his roster because he's got 4 transfers sitting at all times. So last night, all 5 starters transfers for Nevada.
Really?
Yeah, all 5.
All 5 of them.
Yeah.
Transfers.
You know who killed him? Kendall Steven couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
The Purdue kid that got transferred out there and won a very good 3-point shooter. He couldn't make a shot. But it was fun.
How about the P.J. Washington kid at Kentucky? 8 of 20 at the free throw line.
He has Shaq's disease?
And he's not he's kind of one of their post players, but he's not a huge 7-footer. I mean, he's just kind of, an average size kid, but 8 of 20 at the line.
Yeah.
How does that? I don't know how that happens.
You know what is amazing? Syracuse is advanced, but they've made that a tradition. Missing free throws.
Yeah.
That Stevie Thompson team, Stephen Douglas team, that fantastic team should have won the national title. They couldn't make free throws. They shot 60% from the line. It was, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how you get to that level and don't play. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Now we got all hope Loyola. I mean, K-State is a fun story for K-State.
Right.
But Loyola's a good story.
If Loyola's gotten this far, then they might as well go George Mason.
Dan
on
Bernstein from The Score will be with us at 4:15 to tell us how, if the Ramblers now own the city like DePaul used to 30 years ago, before Michael Jordan, when DePaul owned the city down there in Chicago when they had their tournament run.
Did you see all the flack on Twitter that our guy Myron Metcalf has been getting today?
Because of his reseeding.
Yeah, he did his reseeding. His bottom 4 all won yesterday.
Oh, did they really?
Of the 16 teams left, all
Myron
14 at the bottom
did the good
won.
thing. He said, I'm basing it all on how they played last weekend. This is not a prediction.
Yeah.
But the one I questioned him about when we had him on was Michigan. I think Michigan's good. And then they went back to.
Boy, they were good last night.
Oof. They were. So
I would just like to make mention that Team Double Pumpers is up top the list here for the overall standings for the bracket challenge.
Is that right?
And that is legitimately a blind squirrel can find a nut because...
well, this has been the Such theory of trying to pick losers would have worked pretty well this year. Hot rumor, we might get a Sano verdict here in the next couple hours by Major League Baseball. And he kicked 2 ground balls today, so
it's weighing heavily.
Let's hope he's not this wasn't something on. Well, I'm not. I shouldn't say. Let's hope he's not. Let's not. Let's just suggest that to be kind of out of shape and not.
Okay. We'll chalk it up to the
not
physical.
finding out he has a big suspension. But if it's going to be announced in an hour or two, he knows already. So
Yeah.
we'll find out. We should know here shortly that. But again, this is not a given either. Knowing Major League Baseball and stuff like this, they might wait till 5:00 on Saturday where it doesn't get any attention. We'll be back. See what's on Kenny's mind. Before we find out what's on Kenny's mind, I got to tell you, Kenny, I've been saying I want to be elected governor and we wouldn't repair roads and things like that.
Yeah, you going to retract that?
I was coming off Como today trying to get onto 280.
Oh, no.
It is
something, isn't it?
You can't go a foot without going ba-whoomp.
This is unbelievable.
Ba-whoomp. What that entrance is going to be closed down this spring for a few days to repave it. I'll tell you.
When did they start putting in manhole covers so awfully, horribly, whatever the word is?
Yes.
Every single manhole cover in the street now is a pothole. And they've repositioned all the lanes because of the bikes. So now we're all hitting these manhole
Yeah, well, that's
covers.
probably the thought. We can't veer, else we'll hit a fence post, right?
Right.
Okay.
So now
I'd rather hit a fence post than one of those holes, though.
But it's an obstacle course. I mean, you have manhole covers, you have potholes, and then you have bicycle riders, and then you have bike lanes, and then you have improperly plowed streets. So there's snow and ice everywhere. And if you follow a guy like, say, down West Mississippi River Boulevard, everybody is zigzagging all over trying to avoid all of these obstacles. It's a real comedy.
Well, I might have to change my platform when I run for governor.
Once a year?
No.
Or maybe just fix the roads
Why
you
don't
drive
we just
on?
have... Here's the deal.
Just
Stay home day, right? Everybody stays home, and today's the day the trucks are going to be out. We're going to fix all the roads.
Or
don't stay home. If you're going to go somewhere, walk down to the convenience
store. How about if
Stay home day?
Let's grind up all the asphalt and make everything gravel again, because the gravel roads seem to be okay.
Gravel's, you might get
gravel's way better.
You know, if somebody goes by you going 80 on one of those roads, like they have
get a stinger
today, you might get
a stinger.
You might get a few dents, but little, just they're not dents; they're just little paint chips. Where the hell was I on a gravel road? Must have been last fall. It was still dry. I saw this cloud of dust up ahead of me about, some farm kid with a truck, man.
That's how we do it.
I got as far over as I go, whack, he goes by.
You notice there's no speed limit signs on gravel roads, and you know what that means. There's no speed limit. Whatever you can possibly stand.
But when you're on a gravel road and you get up there, you kind of going fast, there's that vibrant, that shaking. What is that?
Washboarding?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Just a water runoff and the combination of that and braking usually.
Okay.
And they fill them in a couple of times a year. But you know what? The great thing about gravel roads and washboards and potholes and all that mess that comes with gravel roads keeps people like you
I'm not taking the gravel road.
And the big thing among my friends up there is we got to tar this road. We got to turn this tar into road. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what's keeping the idiots away from us because they hate the gravel roads.
I was just going to say that when I was a kid, you didn't care if you took a turn onto a gravel road or a paved road. You just turned.
No.
Now, as a city guy, I'll go to the next one, see maybe if it's paved or not.
And that's the opposite for me. I'm looking for gravel roads to get me all the way from my farm to Alexandria because there's no idiots on those gravel roads.
That's true.
And that's the last bastion of freedom is on gravel roads because the cops don't even like going on the gravel roads. That means we got burning barrels, we're burning tires and mattresses. We're dumping oil right into Mother Nature's ground. Anything goes on a gravel road.
But the problem with the gravel roads is you never encounter employees going to Lund's and Byerly so you can pick them up and give them a ride. They're never walking along the service road of life there.
Another problem with gravel roads that you might think is a problem, everybody where I'm from, we drive trucks and we all have a couple of tow straps in our truck. Because you get out on a gravel road, you slide into the ditch at 10 at night or 2 in the morning. No tow truck's going to find you. You're not going to get out. You're going to sit there and die. So we all take care of each other. You go by and you say, oh, look at Scotty's down in the ditch.
Yep.
Looks like he's almost... Let's get the tow strap out. Get him out of here before the cops come.
We actually, down by Bassett Creek Park, for years had a place that was dirt. Not dirt road.
Sure.
For a little over a block. For a block, there was 2 blocks. Now it's apparently somebody's. No, they didn't pave it. They just blocked it off.
They got rid of it altogether.
You can't get on it because apparently either the neighbors were complaining or they thought it was untoward or something. It was a cutoff to get over there.
There was a section of 46th Avenue over by Minnehaha Falls. Not even 100 yards long, that was cobblestone up until last summer, and it was undrivable. It was so bad. I mean, it was bouncy, and they dug up the cobblestone, they threw it away, they put down fresh asphalt. Half the road is a bike lane that everybody in their cars ignores. So the bike riders don't have any place to go. The guys in cars are all over. They have no idea where they should go. These cities, if you're going to keep putting in these bike lanes, you're going to have to start educating the public on where we can drive and where we can't drive, because these guys in cars who have no idea what a bike lane is and what the car lane is, they're going to end up killing people. And it just makes the bike riders even more angry.
Next time I'm in Florida, I got to take a photo of try to take a photo of the bike lane we have coming out of the jungle. It's 1.2 miles coming out of there, and it's this wide.
Yeah.
It's a third as wide as me.
Is it being used at least?
Once in a while you'll see them on there and they try to stay right, but I've seen people on it at night. You got no shot.
No.
Because
we're all old. We're going to kill you.
Right. Because
we can't see.
Because to this day, Patrick, and it's work going on, I think, about 4 years or so since they put those bike lanes on Plymouth over in Minneapolis,
Still looking for somebody?
Still have not seen a single person on the bike.
I drive Plymouth quite often. I did see somebody. I did see somebody, but they never get as far as the liquor store. They turn before they get to the liquor store. That's the liquor store I want to own, by the way. The one on Plymouth and what's that crossroad there? Before you get up to Penn. It's about 8 blocks down.
It's between Lindale and Penn.
That guy is sitting there saying, "Bring me the cash, man." They're busy at 8 in the morning.
When I was a kid, I repossessed cars, and there used to be a payphone on that corner by that liquor store. I used to call that payphone in my office because I spent all my time on the north side, and all the guys on the north side recognized me. And they go, he's not the police. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but he's going to steal your car.
Well, I'm going to steal it back.
He's your car. He's going to take it.
No, I was working for a rental company, so basically they stole the car, and I was stealing it back.
Okay, well, that's only fair.
Yeah, we all got along great. It was fantastic.
Only fair.
Hey, look at the time, Patrick.
Yes, we did it.
Thank you.
Now let's have Brucey tell us how the stock market did today.
Yeah, we will have Your Money Now report brought to you by Owatonna's own Federated Insurance. And here is aforementioned Bruce Vail.
Well, you probably don't want to know. Stocks gave up some early gains today, closing sharply lower to end the week, and the losses mounted in the final few hours of trading, and that's been the case a lot lately. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 424 points, closing at 23,533. The Nasdaq Composite lost 174 points. The S&P 500 fell 55, and all three indexes were down at least 5% for the week. Pest control company Terminix will look to fill 700 open positions at a National Hiring Day event tomorrow. The positions will range from sales to customer service to management. Dunkin' Donuts will open 50 new format stores in the U.S. this year, including the first one opening today in California. The next generation format features nitrogen-infused cold brew coffee, a separate pickup spot for mobile orders, and outlets on the table so that customers can charge their mobile devices while enjoying a cup of coffee. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Was that as painful as it sounded?
Yeah, I feel fine. I just can't get words out today or yesterday.
I think you meant the economy.
Oh.
No, I mean his voice. It sounds like a struggle. You should drink some tea and honey, Bruce.
Yeah, I've been doing that all day, not helping.
We'll talk to you on Monday, sir. Thank you. Your traffic here sponsored by Walgreens. Inbound 394 already plowing the brakes between Theo and 94. Yeah, that's ahead of schedule for most days, but pretty normal for a Friday. If you're doing the outbound stomp on West 94, the Hot Mess Express from the Fish Lake split up to Rogers, really not too bad. At least it's not at capacity yet, planned for 12 to 14 minutes there. Walgreens is here for all your diabetes needs. Stop by today to consult with your pharmacist and get trusted advice and tips about your diabetes medication.
Here is Johnny Hike with reports of a courageous comeback by the Twins today.
Partly cloudy and 42 degrees. The Twins, 2 runs in the ninth. Up to the ninth.
They'd been no hit, right?
No hit up to that point.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
2 runs in the ninth on 2 hits. So they ended up with 2 hits, and it ends up a tie, 2-2.
That hitting machine, Ryan Lamar, started it with a double, and then Tanner English, who's a scrawny-looking outfielder, hit a home run.
Yes, he did.
Tied it. That is 3 ties, Johnny. That equals Bud Grant's total his first season as the Viking coach, where they were 3-8-3. So that's the first time a pro team in Minnesota, outside of hockey, has had 3 ties in all those years.
I have an odd question, Mr. Royce.
Yes.
I have a statement here from the Twins.
On what?
On Miguel Sano.
Okay.
Do you know why they issued this statement? I haven't seen any info.
Read it to us.
It says, the Minnesota Twins fully support the MLB-MLBPA policy, which governs serious matters of this nature. The Twins are pleased that the commissioner's office has concluded its investigation with respect to Miguel Sano. Miguel can now return his sole focus to the season ahead.
I have not seen the story yet.
Well, good. I thought I was losing my mind. Per team protocol.
Did they send it out a minute early or what?
3:24 they sent it out. So
yeah, I knew it was coming. I told you a while ago.
Yeah, you told me you expected something, but I haven't seen anything from Major League Baseball.
It says that he can now go back to playing.
No,
right?
here it is. Twins. Miguel Sano will not be suspended for alleged assault in 2000. Insufficient evidence due to conflicting and inconsistent witness accounts of the incident in Rosedale Center Mall.
All right.
Okay.
So the Twin statement basically saying, thank you, we'll move on now.
They support the policy, but he did not get suspended. So those 2 errors he made today, that was based on talent alone.
Good enough.
It wasn't a cluttered mind.
Talent errors based on talent. I love that.
Errors based on weighing 290 and not being able to bend over.
He looked a little thick today, I thought. I haven't seen him a lot
this
this spring.
He was moving fairly well earlier, I thought, but maybe he's wearing out. But that helps him a lot. Whatever we want to say about this situation, they spent a long time. Believe me, baseball didn't want to look like they were whitewashing anything in this case. Not in the Me Too generation. Yeah. So they couldn't prove it. So
is he trying to lose weight?
Yeah, it's kind of like when Charlie Hallman, Gary Olson, and I had a weight-losing contest at the Pioneer Press, and I won by gaining 3 pounds.
you gained the least amount. Well, how old is Miguel?
23, or did he just turn 24?
Oh, so he's not even in his 30s yet.
No.
So he's not going through what the rest of us go through at middle age, where we take off our shirt.
His metabolism is still pretty strong.
But what I'm saying,
I have recommended gastric bypass for Miguel.
What I'm saying, though, there's an age where you take off your shirt and your big fat gut flops up.
And there's nothing you can do
And you
about
look at it in the mirror and you go, you know what? That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not too bad at all. Now I'm walking around patting my gut, and I sit in my desk and kind of rub my big fat belly, and I don't mind it at all. Whereas 10 years ago, it made me ashamed.
See, that's the thing,
I didn't
Kenny.
like it.
Although, if some sponsor out there wants to call up and have you lose weight,
I turn them down.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, I need a sponsor that lets me gain weight. Because I'm thinking, these pants, I could get another 10 pounds into these pants.
Speaking of that, have you seen the latest trend in fanny packs? It's a belly. It's a picture. That's a legitimate fanny pack.
It's a fanny pack that looks like my gut. That's fantastic.
Yes.
You just need some hair coming out of the belly button.
You can buy one with the lint. And
I
with
was
the,
going to say, where's the navel lint?
Yeah, I want to be able to walk around and put my finger in that fanny pack belly button.
all right.
Well, news notes from today from the Star Tribune. Leaders in the Prior Lake Savage School District and police are asking parents for help in stopping kids from playing Nerf wars, saying the game has become dangerous and disruptive to student safety. In a letter sent to parents yesterday, the Prior Lake school principal said the popular game in which teams of students shoot foam darts at others to kill them in an attempt to win prize money has led to confrontations in the Prior Lake High School parking lot, reckless driving in local neighborhoods, threats on social media, and students actually skipping school. The game is normally played off campus in parks and other public places, but has increasingly been infiltrating routines on campus, according to officials. Students have been involved in constant texting in school and making threats related to the game over social
This isn't the
media.
one where they shoot each other in cars and drive off the road,
That's
is
the
it?
one that caused the accident. Yes, same
that
game.
killed out there in
Lakeville, yeah.
Yep.
I warned my kids, do not. I don't know if they're playing this game, but I warned all of them, dude, it's not worth it. It's really because everybody's getting.
With all the technical advantages the youth of America has these days, do we need this idiocy?
No.
Back then, what were we going to do?
There was nothing else to do.
We had to do something. We had to drive the gravel roads and have a beer.
Have a rumble, maybe a rumble.
A
rumble.
Yeah, I had a rumble.
Gravel travel, baby.
Yeah.
Let's get a 12-pack and kill
this
some
is
time.
ridiculous. It's good. And my alma mater, maybe I should come out and give them a little lecture.
Yes.
You kids.
Proud graduate. I graduated in the top 30 of my class out there. Of course, there was only 47 of us. But might be a little harder now. They got about 700.
You're getting close to that top half, weren't you?
You're right, Racy. We should teach a class on how to party.
And it ain't shooting Nerf balls out of cars and killing yourself.
No.
Just hours after threatening a veto, President Trump said this afternoon he had signed what he called a ridiculous $1.3 trillion spending bill.
Why was he gonna veto it? I thought this is what he wanted.
Trump said he might veto in a tweet this morning, surprising a lot of people, by the way, including folks in Congress who had already agreed with
Paul Ryan and made the deal with him, right?
Yep. Trump said in the tweet he might veto the bill because it does nothing to address the fate of young, undocumented immigrants known as Dreamers.
Oh, and now he's on their side?
Yes,
okay.
And did not fully fund his border wall. But then speaking to reporters at the White House about 4 hours after his tweet, the president said he had decided to sign the bill, arguing it provides much-needed funding for the military, including a pay increase for troops and new equipment.
I hate to say this, but John Bolton scares me more than Benito Mussolini would have. That guy is frightening.
And Mussolini was pretty scary.
He was. Yeah, but you see what happened to him, don't you?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Hung up on a lamppost with
lamppost.
his gut cut open. Mm-hmm. Disembowelment. We call it. Yeah.
U.S. Postal Service today released a stamp featuring Fred Rogers, the TV host who entertained and educated generations of preschoolers on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's a forever stamp. Went on sale today. It has a picture of old Fred in his trademark cardigan, along with King Friday, a puppet character from the show's Neighborhood of Make-Believe sketch. The ceremony was held at the Pittsburgh studio where Rogers filmed the PBS show, which aired between 1968 and 2001. Rogers died in 2003 at the age of 74.
I bought a packet of Wilt Chamberlain in his uniform, not in his disco uniform. And I don't have the heart to put them on envelopes like to pay bills with or something. I got to keep them because they're so great. They're about this long.
I was going to say, I hope they're extra tall because,
I have 2 books of old music ones. Remember the put music ones out? I can't bring myself to use them. I just leave them in my drawer.
I like that. I get the ones with a flag when I bail them out. Who cares?
I was rooting for the Fred Rogers stamps that once you lick them and attach them to the whatever you're going to send out, they talk back.
Have you by any chance lost your kitty?
Just random things like that.
About some make-believe about musical instruments.
I never let my kids watch that guy. He creeped them out.
What?
Oh.
What? The only guy in America that doesn't like Mr. Rogers?
Underdog. We watch violence.
Rogers is a sissy.
Don't watch that kid. Look at those sweaters.
He's got no firearms
Looks
in
like
that closet.
Wetmore. Looks like Wetmore with those sweaters he wore.
Come on.
That sweaters Wetmore wears, man. My roommate, I was worried about him with those sweaters he had.
What a special friend you are.
He's a clean liberal. Don't pick on those guys.
He's got a sense of fashion that is different than
most people
his age.
Most people who work at 1500 ESPN. We'll be back. It appears the only decision left for the Twins is whether they keep Gabriel Moya or give the Rule 5 guy back, Tyler Kinley, back to the Marlins. I think that's about it.
I think they should
got your ball club.
They should keep Kinley just because of that backstory I read in the paper the other day about his family.
Oh, yeah.
He's a member of the McKinley
family. Yes. Did you see that one, Kenny?
Oh.
They got this guy named Tyler Kinley, and William McKinley was great, Johnny?
Great uncle.
Great uncle. And after he got assassinated, they recommend the family change the name to drop the MC for safety concerns.
Really?
People, so they became the Kinleys instead of the McKinley.
That's fascinating. Was he the one that was assassinated while giving a speech?
He was in a train station, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A train station.
And he
took several days, right? It wasn't immediate.
Yeah, and it was the kind of wound where if it happened today, they'd have no problems.
Be like Reagan. He'd
It's
be
a
out making a
flesh wound.
speech. Be out making a speech 2 days later.
Yeah. Huh.
So anyway, that's although I guess they haven't decided between Ryan Lamar and Zach Granite either, because Granite is on the roster and Lamar isn't. So that he might end up with Zach Granite as your extra outfielder.
Guinness World Records confirmed a $14,168 shot of cognac served at a London bar. It's the most expensive shot in the world. Most expensive ever.
So if you buy a whole jug, what would that cost you?
Oh, my.
This it was discovered in a cognac house in 2004. It's believed to have been from the very first blend created by the distiller Jean Filot in 1894.
So I take it cognac gets better with age then, John.
I would assume. I'm not a big cognac guy.
No.
The shot was served to Rongita Dutt McGroarty at London Bar Hyde Kensington.
I wonder if he went,
Right. Was he like Reavers with an almond bar and it's one bite? Or
knock it back.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like a shot of
I'll have another.
The bar shared photos of the receipt and the presentation.
What was the number again now? 4,000 what?
$14,168.
You know what? That guy is not going to be well liked by people. That they would think this is a little wasteful.
The guy that drank it?
Yeah.
The guy that drank it actually is a gal.
Oh, okay.
Rengita. It's a female. Yep. So
her husband bought it for her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that was
you
uncalled
chauvinist pig, you.
Wow.
A hotel guest suffered the ultimate embarrassment in Spain when His testicles got stuck in a plastic chair, and fire crews had to come get him free.
Yeah, I hate when that
those
happens.
plastic chairs with the slats.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep the boys tucked in on those things.
Yep.
The unfortunate incident happened when the man, aged between 60 and 70...
you guys with the small ones do. I guess.
Right.
Yeah, me and Manny were okay.
Why were you looking at me?
It happened when the man, aged between...
Mine slip right through those slats. It's not a problem.
Never get stuck.
Yeah. Ever see a dead bird?
The man was sitting down before taking a shower.
Like I'm flying in front of Ziggy's stadium.
It happened when the man was sitting down before taking a shower in his hotel room in Torrevieja, Alicante, Spain. Everything went to plan until he tried to stand up and found that his testicles had dropped through the slats in the folding chair and he couldn't get them out. Even more
Must
embarrassing...
not have a lot of feeling down there that it took that for him to know that they were stuck.
Well, he's 60 to 70 years old.
I would know when I leaned forward, not halfway up. I'm like,
You're dragging the chair around the room with you.
Not even realizing it.
The call led to 3 fire engines coming to the scene to try to help out.
Wait, hey guys, let's dial this down a bit, okay? Let's turn your sirens off.
They just wanted to see if it was actually true. Two other fire engines showed up.
They said, we got to see this.
Engine 7, you got to get over here.
At first, they couldn't figure out how to do it. Finally, they just decided to cut away some of the plastic slats, which extended the ordeal a bit by about a half an hour. Eventually, he was able to stand up, had to be treated for minor injuries at the university hospital. The fireman
They
said...
should have thrown a marmot at him. He would have jumped out of there.
Right.
Nice marmot.
Firemen said it was one of the strangest calls they had ever received. Some said when they first got it at the station, they thought it was a joke.
Extrication needed.
We never, they did not identify the individual by name, the victim by name.
No. A Florida man accused of stealing exotic fish from a pet store by stuffing them down his pants.
Okay.
Cruz Orlando Garcia Jr. of Largo entered pet safari in Clearwater with his alleged accomplice Crystal Dixon. Dixon distracted the store clerk while Garcia Jr. Stole electric blue acaras and blue ram cichlids, according to police. Those apparently are expensive fish, each costing about $20 a piece.
Did he have a bag with water in
I
him?
was just going to say, or did he just take them and put them in his
down there
pocket?
like
pants.
a walleye?
I think he just stuck them in his pants, Kenny.
Hopefully it was close to the apartment where the aquarium was.
The boyfriend, according to the store employee, Kyla Kraut, the boyfriend came to the fish tank, pointed at a fish and went, "Oh, that's a really cool fish," and then ran out the door. I immediately went to where I saw them last and noticed there was a lot of water coming from the tank. I knew there was a missing fish. Kraut took the license number of the car, turned it over to detectives. Garcia was arrested. Authorities are still looking for Dixon.
But he knew his fish. He knew which one to steal.
Yeah.
So good for him. He was a smart young man.
A tough deal for a fella in the Bronx. He decided he won a lawsuit. Okay, he won $96,000.
All right.
He decided to celebrate by hiring 3 prostitutes at a motel. Then lost all the cash windfall when 2 gun-toting pals of the hookers burst in.
Of course.
Bunch of hookers.
So
and
he
cocaine.
cashed it. So
Who is that? What is that soundbite? Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking,
Yeah,
Manny?
when
lottery.
they asked him what he would do if he won the lottery, and he just said a bunch of hookers and cocaine.
Some cocaine.
But 96, so instead of he goes out and just gets the cash. Huh?
Yeah. He actually, according to police, his name is Saul Villegas. He carried the entire sum in a suitcase. He checked into the Van Cortlandt Motel on Broadway in the Bronx around 10 p.m. Sunday and called for some female companionship.
I got a suitcase full of cash. Send up a couple of whores. Jeez, what a moron. Oh, my goodness. What an idiot.
Well, he gets even stupider, as you'll see in a minute. 3 hookers came over, had sex with the 30-year-old. Then they suggested they have a friend stop by with beer and cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, that's cool. About 6:50 in the morning, that company, which was actually a pair of masked gun-toting men, burst into the room, grabbed the overstuffed suitcase, and ran out the door.
What, are the hookers gone by now, or are they still there?
The hookers left by that
In the
hour.
confusion, they slipped out the back.
Villegas said, I am haunted by this. I keep playing it over in my mind.
What did I do
I'm
wrong?
traumatized.
Where did I make a
What
mistake?
could have I possibly done wrong?
I was surprised they pulled a gun. I said, what's going on? And yelled for help. I
I'm
was
scarred for life.
Here's a good quote considering I hired 3 hookers. I was depending on that money to move my family.
Jesus. Wow.
I want to meet this guy. I want him as a weekly guest.
Who carries around $96K in cash?
In a suitcase.
My
Hey,
goodness.
Kenny, if you and I had listened to Brandon Lang a couple days ago, we'd be rich men today.
Yeah.
He had him wired, man.
Did he seem a little down in the dumps the other day, though, when you had him on? He seemed very reserved.
I brought up UCLA right away.
You had to throw that in his face right away.
Big tout last time.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I don't know.
Boy, he's got self-confidence, though, doesn't
Can't
he?
get
Oh,
enough
my
Brandon
goodness.
Lang.
Oh, he's great.
He's awesome.
All righty. Thanks, John.
You bet. It's cloudy and 42 degrees in Minneapolis and St. Paul. I'm John Haidt with a 1500 ESPN Twin Cities sports update. A Major League Baseball investigation into an alleged assault involving Twin slugger Miguel Sano and a female photographer will result in no league discipline. Major League Baseball announcing this afternoon. A photographer for Twins website had alleged that the All-Star third baseman assaulted her in 2015. MLB said in a release it interviewed more than 20 individuals, including Sano and the complainant, as well as a review of available documents, including communication records, said there was insufficient evidence to support any discipline in the case. Boys State basketball tournament action this afternoon. They played the Class A semifinals. Russell Tyler Ruthven defeated Mayor Lutheran 49-38. And right now, Northwoods with about a 17-point lead over Cass Lake Bena. That game with only about 3 minutes left in the basketball game tonight. The 2A semifinals will be played at the Target Center. 5 Eyewitness News weather forecast. Snow. Looks like most of the heavy stuff will miss the Twin Cities. They will get stuff south and west of here along the line, Redwood Falls to Mankato and south into Iowa. They could see up to 8 inches of snow. But here in the Twin Cities, only about an inch of snow overnight into tomorrow morning. Overnight low tonight, 30. Tomorrow's high, 40. Then Sunday, 45 with the cloud and sun mix. Right now, 42 degrees. We're about 90 seconds away from Patrick Royce. Ride with Royce at 1500 ESPN.